Welcome to this new episode of the Body, Mind, Soul series. Today, I am discussing a topic that requires knowledge, sensitivity, and deep respect: eating disorders. Anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorder, and other forms of troubled relationships with food are not a matter of a lack of willpower, vanity, or a simple concern about weight. They are complex disorders involving biological, psychological, familial, social, and cultural factors. Through the Pharaoh model, I propose an integrative and humanized perspective. At Pharaoh, we do not seek to judge the individual, but rather to understand what is being expressed by a body that often carries suffering for which no words have been found. Pharaoh analysis. Food ceases to serve merely a nutritional function and becomes a language. Through it, some people attempt to regain control, alleviate distress, fill voids, silence emotions, or meet unattainable ideals. The body ultimately becomes the stage where a battle is fought, a much deeper conflict concerning identity, self-worth, and the need for acceptance. Jung, the body as symbol. From the perspective of Carl Gustav Jung's analytical psychology, a symptom can be understood as a symbolic expression of unconscious conflicts. When identity relies excessively on image, the body ceases to be a home and instead becomes an ongoing project of correction. The individual ends up fighting against themselves, believing that altering the body will resolve a pain that actually belongs to another dimension of their life. Wilber, the fragmentation of the self. For Ken Wilber, suffering arises when one dimension of the person dominates the others. In eating disorders, physical appearance may take center stage in one's identity, while emotional, relational, and spiritual dimensions are sidelined. Recovery entails reintegrating body, mind, relationships, consciousness, and a sense of purpose. Hamer. From the perspective of German New Medicine, certain experiences, such as feelings of devaluation, rejection, loss of protection, or survival-related conflicts, may form part of the emotional history of individuals with these disorders. This approach does not aim to explain every case or replace medical and psychological assessment. Rather, it seeks to broaden our understanding of human suffering and explore the significance that specific symptoms may hold within each person's life story. Traditional Chinese medicine views nutrition as an expression of the balance between body, emotions, and vital energy. The spleen and stomach transform food into qi and blood, yet they are also deeply affected by excessive worry, mental rumination, and prolonged stress. When Shin, spirit/mind, loses stability and emotions remain dysregulated, one's relationship with food can also be disrupted. Philosophical Taoism teaches that the body is not an enemy to be conquered, but a companion on life's journey. An obsession with controlling every gram, every calorie, or every aspect of one's appearance shatters the natural harmony between the individual and their own life. Balance arises not from absolute control, but from learning to listen to the body with respect, accepting its rhythms, and reconciling with it. From the Pharaoh perspective, the body reflects more than just biological processes. It often expresses what we avoid acknowledging within ourselves. We are not speaking solely of pain or sadness. Emotions such as frustration, a need for approval, shame, self-imposed pressure, resentment, envy, jealousy, fear of rejection, or difficulty accepting our own limits may also be present. No human being is free from these experiences. They are part of the human condition. The problem lies not in feeling them, but in denying, hiding, or projecting them onto others. In such cases, the body can become the stage where that conflict finds a way to express itself. True change begins when we stop living solely as victims of circumstance and take responsibility for honestly getting to know ourselves. Self-knowledge does not seek to assign blame, but rather to liberate and transform the shadow. As we transform how we think, feel, and relate to ourselves, the way we inhabit our bodies and connect with the world changes as well. When a person finds greater harmony among body, mind, emotions, and consciousness, that transformation often radiates outward to their family, work, and community. Health is also a way of building more humane relationships. We do not change our lives merely by fixing the body. We change them by transforming the consciousness that inhabits it. All profound transformation begins in consciousness. The body and our relationships tend to be its reflection. Therapy. Treating eating disorders requires an interdisciplinary approach. The Pharaoh model is designed to complement medical, nutritional, and psychological care, never to replace it. The therapeutic process aims to understand the suffering underlying the symptom, regulate the nervous system and restore a sense of bodily safety, strengthen an identity that does not rely exclusively on appearance, develop a more conscious relationship with the body, food, and emotions, and foster healthy connections in spaces where the individual feels accepted without the pressure to meet unrealistic ideals. The goal is not simply to normalize eating habits, but to help the person reclaim their body as a place of life rather than a battlefield. Humanization. No one chooses to suffer from an eating disorder. Behind every body subjected to extreme weight control measures, there is often a story that needs to be heard rather than judged. Humanizing means seeing the person before the symptom, understanding rather than pointing fingers, and offering support rather than assigning blame. Recovery begins when a person's worth is no longer measured by the number on the scale. True beauty begins when we stop fighting the mirror and start getting to know ourselves from within. Pharaoh guiding lesson. The body does not need to be punished in order to be accepted. When we learn to listen to it with respect and care for our minds and consciences, a path of reconciliation opens up, one that no diet can offer. Those who transform their inner world no longer need their bodies to scream what their souls are keeping silent. Pharaoh guiding quote. The body is not the enemy. It is the messenger of a story that deserves to be understood. Study science with conscience with ECEL Pharaoh. In health, knowledge is not neutral, it is vital. Subscribe to the channel, hit like, leave a comment, and share this video to help raise collective awareness. Learn more on the YouTube channel.